The railway didn't look dangerous at first, just quiet, empty, and forgotten. But somewhere between the dust and the steel, a mother realized this place was not meant for life to pause, and everything she did next was about keeping her cub alive. The evening settles over the railway with a tired quiet, the sort that feels borrowed rather than earned. Dust hangs low in the air, stirred by the occasional passing truck on a distant road, and the steel rails stretch forward in long, unbroken lines that disappear into the fading light. This is where the tiger mother and her cub have been left, not placed gently, not guided to safety, but forsaken beside the tracks as if the world itself had decided to look away. The mother stands still at first, her body rigid, every muscle tuned to listen. The cub presses close to her side, confused by the sudden stillness after chaos, his small heart fluttering against her ribs. She smells oil and rust, old with soak with years of heat, and something sharper beneath it all that sets her nerves on edge. The ground hums faintly, a vibration she does not recognize but instinctively distrusts. Her ears swivel, catching echoes that bounce along the meadow lines, sounds that feel too large for the narrow strip of land they occupy. She lowers her head and nudges her cub, urging him to stay close, to stay quiet. He responds with a soft, broken sound, the kind young animals make when the world no longer matches what they were promised. The cub's legs wobble as he shifts his weight, and she steadies him with the side of her body. Her tongue brushes his fur, a familiar gesture meant to calm, though her own breathing has grown shallow. She scans the horizon, searching for cover that isn't there. No tall grass, no trees thick enough to hide them, only gravel and steel and the open sky pressing down. The tracks offer no shelter, only direction, and that direction feels wrong. Time stretches in an uncomfortable way. The sun sinks lower, and with it comes a change in the air. The faint vibration grows stronger, pulsing through the stones beneath her paws. She lifts her head sharply, ears flattened, tail low. Somewhere far away, something heavy is moving. The cub senses it too. He shifts closer, his small body trembling as the unfamiliar sound crawls toward them along the rails. Humans move nearby, just far enough to be present without being involved. Footsteps pass on the road beyond the crossing. Voices drift in and out, carried by the breeze, detached and uninterested. A shadow pauses briefly, then continues on. No one comes closer. No one kneels. No one notices the way the cub presses his face into his mother's chest, or how she angles her body between the tracks, as if she can shield him from whatever is coming simply by standing her ground. The vibration deepens, no longer subtle, no longer ignorable. It hums through her bones, rattles the loose stones, and turns the quiet into something heavy with warning. The mother tiger does not know what a train is, but she knows danger when it announces itself this clearly. She gathers herself, guiding her cub a step farther from the rails, though there is nowhere safe to go. The world around them feels suddenly vast and empty, stripped of mercy. As the light thins and the air cools, the cruelty of being left behind becomes undeniable. This place was not meant for life to pause. It was meant for things to pass through quickly, without care. The tiger mother remains where she is, alert and exposed, doing the only thing she can do now. Stay present, stay standing, and keep her cub alive for as long as the world allows. The sound returns again, deeper now, no longer something the mother tiger can dismiss as distant or imagined. It rolls to the ground in slow pulses, steady and relentless, and the cub reacts before she does. He presses tighter against her chest, his small body quivering as if the vibration has found its way inside him. She lowers her head and breathes into his fur, a calming rhythm meant to anchor him, though her own heart had begun to beat harder. Whatever is coming does not feel like weather or wind. It feels purposeful, and it is getting closer. The cub lifts his head and cries, a thin, frightened sound that slices through the quiet. She nudges him gently, urging silence, but fear does not always listen. His eyes dart toward the rails, then back to her face, searching for reassurance she cannot fully give. The steel lines seem to hum now, alive with motion that has not yet arrived. Pebbles tremble beneath her paws. The air itself feels heavier, charged with something unseen. People continue to pass along the nearby path. A man in clean clothes slows briefly, his gaze flicking toward the animals before shifting away just as quickly. He hesitates, checks his surroundings, and keeps walking. Another figure stops farther back, lifts a phone, and watches from a distance without coming closer. The cub cries again, louder this time, and sound follows them as they leave. Each passing moment feels like a small closing door. The mother tiger does not growl or charge. She stays where she is, focused on keeping the cub steady as his fear builds. Her tail flicks low and tense. She angles her body once more between him and the rails, as if instinct alone might create a barrier strong enough to stop what is coming. The vibration deepens, now unmistakable, a long breath drawn by something immense. Then someone different appears. He moves slowly, not with caution but with weariness. His posture bent from years of carrying more than his share. His clothes are old and mismatched, stained by work and weather, and his steps lack urgency at first. He hears the cub before he sees him. The sound makes him stop, not abruptly, but fully, as if the rest of the world has slipped briefly out of focus. He looks toward the tracks and takes in the scene without flinching. The tiger's eyes meet his, not in challenge, but in a guarded stillness that speaks of exhaustion rather than threat. He does not reach for a phone. He does not step back. He listens. The ground shudders again, stronger now, and the sound carries clearly through the air. The man shifts his weight, glancing once down the length of track, then back to the animals. He understands enough. Something is coming, and there is very little time. He moves closer, slowly, making his presence known without startling. His hands remain open at his sides, empty. The cub watches him with wide eyes, his cries softening into short, breathless sounds. The noise grows louder, layered now with a distant horn that echoes faintly across the open land. The man's breathing quickens, but his movements stay measured. He crouches a few steps away, speaking softly, though the words themselves matter less than calm in his voice. The mother tiger does not retreat. She does not advance. She watches, every sense alive, weighing the risk of this human against a danger that is already on its way. Around them, the air vibrates with urgency. Sound, movement, and fear weave together into a single moment that demands a choice. The man rises again, resolve settling over him not like courage, but like inevitability. He steps closer, guided by instinct and refusal to turn away, while the mother tiger stands her ground, protecting her cub and allowing, just barely, the possibility of help to enter the space between them. The moment arrives not as a sudden leap, but as a careful crossing of an invisible line. The man moves closer with deliberate slowness, aware that any sharp motion could undo the fragile balance holding the scene together. The ground shudders beneath them, the sound now loud enough to press against the chest, but he keeps his eyes on the mother tiger. She watches him without blinking, her body tense yet rooted, every instinct weighing threat against necessity. The cub clings to her side, small and shaking, and it is this quiet fear that finally guides a man's hands. He lowers himself, keeping his movements low and open, and gestures softly, not to command, but to invite. The vibration grows stronger, the air filled with sound and wind, but the tiger does not retreat. Instead, she shifts just enough to shield the cub while allowing space. The man understands this as permission, fragile and conditional. He reaches the cub first, slowly lifting the trembling body against his chest. The mother tiger steps forward, then stops, choosing trust over instinct in a way that surprises them both. Together, they move away from the rails, each step measured, each breath controlled. When the noise finally crashes past, it does so behind them, loud and overwhelming, but no longer a threat. Dust rises, wind pulls at clothing and fur, and then just as suddenly, the world settles. Silence returns, broken only by the cub's soft breathing and the man's unsteady exhale. The mother tiger stands close, her posture still guarded, but the danger has passed. She does not strike. She does not flee. Instead, she lowers her head, sniffing the air near the man and her cub, learning his scent the way wild animals do when deciding what belongs. Her eyes soften, and she presses her forehead briefly against his shoulder, a gesture neither trained nor taught. It is acknowledgement, cautious but real. The man stays still, honoring the moment without trying to claim it. In the days that follow, they remain near one another, drawn together by circumstance rather than choice. The man shares what little food he has, placing it down and stepping back, letting the tiger decide. She eats only when the cub is fed first. At night, she stays close, alert to every sound, while the man rests beside them, warmed by her presence and humbled by the trust she offers without surrendering her nature. But time changes everything. The cub grows stronger. The tiger's eyes track the open spaces beyond their temporary refuge. The man understands what love sometimes requires, even when it hurts. He makes the call that brings help, staying close as unfamiliar humans arrive with careful voices and respectful distance. The tiger reacts at first, stepping protectively forward, but the man speaks softly, steady and reassuring until she allows the process to unfold. When the moment of separation comes, it is gentle and final. The cub follows his mother without hesitation, and she pauses once, turning back toward the man. Their eyes meet, and something unspoken passes between them, a recognition that survival has taken many forms here. She disappears into the transport meant to carry her home. The man remains, watching until there is nothing left to see, carrying with him the quiet knowledge that one compassionate choice can change lives, even when it asks for letting go.